Hi, I'm Caitlin McCormick. I'm going to be the teacher.
Hi, I'm Megan Feminella, and I'm going to be the student.
Hi, I'm Adriana Galano, and I'm going to be observing.
Okay, so we're going to start off with some sounds. So I'm going to say the sound to you. I want you then to repeat the sound, say the letter, and then as you're typing it, say which letter it is again. So for the first one, it's going to be A.
Okay. A. A. A.
E.
E. E. E.
K.
K. K. CK. CK.
Is there anything else for K?
Yes. There's K. K. And K. C. C.
Perfect. Next one's ing.
Ing. ING. ING.
Unk.
Unk. UNK. UNK.
Perfect. So now we're going to go through some real words and some nonsense words. So I'm going to say a word. I want you to repeat the word, and then you're going to tap it out, spell it, and then while you're typing it, you're going to spell it again, with just letting me know which letters you're using. So for the first word, it's going to be stick.
Stick. St. Ick. It's going to be STIK. STICK. Stick.
Perfect. The next word is mint.
Mint. Mint. MINT. MINT.
Next word is swing.
Swing. Swing. SWING. SWING.
The next word is crack.
Crack. Ack. CRACK. CRACK.
Now we have flap.
Flap. Flap. FLAP. FLAP.
Perfect. Now we're going to move to the other side for nonsense words. The first word is plud.
Flood. PLUD. PLUD. PLUD.
The next one is geff.
Geff. Geff. GEFF. GEFF.
Now we have trit.
Trit. It. TRIT. TRIT.
Perfect. Now can you read through all the words for me in order?
Sure. Stick. Mint. Swing. Crack. Flap. Plud. Geff. Trit.
Perfect. So now we're going to start annotating the real words. So let's start with the first one, stick. What kind of syllable is this?
This is a closed syllable word.
And how would you annotate a closed syllable word?
A closed syllable word is going to have a line with a C underneath it.
Perfect. I just want to mention that why don't we just move the line a little below because we're going to annotate welded sounds and blends as well.
That's still too high. Hold on.
Perfect. Is there a blend in this word?
There is at the beginning ST.
Perfect. And we annotate a blend with 2 lines under each letter because each letter makes their own sound, right?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember how to annotate a digraph?
A digraph has one line underneath the 2 letters. So CK will have 1 line.
Perfect. And what's a digraph?
A digraph are 2 consonants together that make 1 sound.
Perfect. And is there anything else you would annotate, like maybe a short vowel sound?
The I has a short vowel sound, so I'm going to put a brev on the top.
Perfect. So why don't we move on to mint? Why don't you try this one on your own? Annotate as much as you can.
Okay. So mint has a blend because NT come together, each making their own sound. So NT, they're each underlined separately. The I has a short vowel sound, so I'm going to put a brev on the top. That looks very sloppy. And then it is a closed syllable word, so there's going to be a line underneath with a C.
Perfect. And why is it a closed syllable?
It's a closed syllable because there's one vowel that's followed by a consonant, giving it a short vowel sound.
Perfect. And it could also be followed by 1 or more consonants. So why don't we move on to swing? Can you annotate the welded sound for me?
Sure. This is going to get a little smudged. So ing is the welded sound, and we put a box around the welded sound.
Perfect. Is there a blend?
There is a blend at the beginning with SW.
And why is it a blend?
Because it's 2 or more consonants, each making their own sound.
Perfect. And is it a closed syllable?
It is a closed syllable, so we put a line with a C.
And is there a short vowel sound?
Yes, so I will put it right there.
And why is there a short vowel sound?
There's a short vowel sound because the vowel is followed by 1 or more consonants, giving it a short vowel sound.
Perfect. Let's move on to the next word. Why don't you start annotating this one?
Sure. So there is a blend at the beginning with CR. There is a digraph, CK. So I'm underlining both of those letters once.
Why are you underlining them both once?
Because it's a digraph and each of the consonants make 1 sound together. It's a closed syllable, so I'm going to underline the whole word and put a C. And there's also a short vowel sound, which is the A. So I'll put a brev on the top.
Perfect. You can move on to flap.
Okay. I'm going to just get rid of this one because I can't see. Okay. There is a blend at the beginning, which is FL. So F and L each get their own underline. It is a closed syllable word. And the A has a short vowel sound.
Perfect. And why is there a blend in the beginning?
There's a blend because it is 2 or more consonants together, each making their own separate sound.
Perfect. So now I want you to scroll to the sentences.
Oops. Let me just erase my.
Okay, so I'm going to read you 3 sentences. I want you to repeat the sentence, and then you're going to stop and visualize the sentence's meaning, and then you're going to type it out. So the first sentence is, which desk is a mess?
Which desk is a mess?
So now you're just going to visualize it, and then once you see like what it means, then you could start typing it out. Can you just read it back to me?
Which desk is a mess?
Perfect. And let's move on to number 2. There were a lot of thrills on that trip.
Okay. There were a lot of thrills on that trip. There were a lot of thrills on that trip.
Perfect. The next one is, why are there 6 trucks by the shop?
Why were there 6 trucks by the shop? 6 trucks by the shop.
Perfect. So now we're going to proofread it together. So why don't we start with the first one? Can you read it back to me?
Which desk is a mess?
Now, can you tap out the word mess for me?
S.
Perfect. Do you remember anything about double consonants?
Oh, right. That should be a double consonant word. We have a short E, so there should be 2 S's.
Perfect. And did you capitalize anything in the sentence?
The first letter of the sentence,
And why did you capitalize it?
because the first letter of a sentence is always capitalized.
Perfect. And is there a digraph in which?
There are 2, actually, WH and CH.
Perfect. And when you're, would this be a regular sentence? Would there be a question mark, any punctuation? Would you use a period?
This is a question, so there should be a question mark for the sentence.
Perfect. So now we're going to move on to sentence number 2. Can you repeat it back to me?
There were a lot of thrills on that trip.
Perfect. And did you use any capitalization?
At the beginning of the sentence, the T.
Perfect. And can you tap out thrills for me?
Thrills.
Perfect. Now, can you go back and why don't you spell it out in your head? Thrills.
I think I noticed my mistake.
Which is?
TH.
And why would you?
Because TH is a digraph, because TH make one sound together.
Perfect. And can you say that sound for me? Perfect. And why don't you repeat the word thrills again? Perfect. And with punctuation in this one, wouldn't you say that they seem a little excited about the trip? That there were thrills? So would you use a period, an exclamation point?
If they're excited, they should use an exclamation point at the end of the sentence.
Perfect. So why don't you repeat it back to me with emphasis on the explanation point?
There were a lot of thrills on that trip.
Perfect. So now we're going to move on to number 3. Can you repeat it back?
Why were there 6 trucks by the shop?
Perfect. And why did you use capitalization in the first word?
The first letter of every sentence is always capitalized.
And why did you use a question mark?
Because why started the sentence off and they were asking a question.
Perfect. And would you mind tapping out the word trucks for me?
Trucks.
Great. So now think about the word trucks, try to spell it out ahead, and think of any digraphs that you could possibly use to spell the word trucks.
Oh. Trucks has the digraph CK in it.
And can you sound out the digraph CK? And K also makes what, you can use what other letters for K?
Also use the letter C or the letter K.
Perfect. Is there a blend in the word trucks?
There is at the beginning of the word TR.
Perfect. And would you mind repeating the sentence back to me?
Why were there 6 trucks by the shop?
Perfect. That's all.